So today we have another video and we're doing actually something pretty cool. It's actually my first time trying something like this, and we're basically pairing beer and cheese. So I'm pairing 3 different beers with 5 different cheeses here, and I'll go along explaining each of the cheeses and each of the beers as I go along. I thought I'd just expand the kind of videos I'm doing. Working on getting certified Cicerone, so it's a nice kind of study opportunity for me, and also I could just shoot it on video. First time me actually trying to pair these beers with these cheeses. So let's dig in. So we're starting off with a brie. This is a cow's milk cheese, generally pretty soft. You have that edible rind. In general, it's a relatively neutral kind of cheese, and you usually want to pair it with something a little bit more light. So. Get a little bit of that kind of like earthiness and that little bit of like hints of like, I don't know if it's like funk, but a little bit of earthiness and minerality from the rind. But in general, really nice and neutral kind of cheese. And we're pairing it with a German style Pilsner, German Pils from Trogs, the Sunshine Pils. Hoping that works out. So. That's pretty nice, actually. The hops offer this kind of like floral quality. It plays pretty well into that kind of cheese. The cheese in general, again, is not too aggressive in flavor. Excuse me if it's not fun to watch me eat cheese and drink beer, but that's part of the video. So, yeah. You get a little bit of like sweetness from the Pilsner. The bitterness moves pretty well with the brie. Nothing too crazy. I wouldn't say it's a knockout kind of pairing. I think in general beer pairs pretty well with cheese. You have the carbonation, a little bit of bitterness. It ends up working pretty well with the dairy, this dairy product, but. Pretty nice. The beer doesn't necessarily overwhelm the cheese. It's just a pretty simple, pretty good pairing. So we're moving on to a semi-firm goat cheese. In general, goat cheeses are fresh and they're just really soft. You see this one's relatively firm. They're more that texture of the brie or even softer than that. So those are really like soft cheeses that really don't take up to strong beers. But this one's a little bit more substantial. It has a nice a little bit of a rind to it on the outside. And this one's going to stand up. It has a little bit more sharp flavor, a little bit more nuttiness. It's going to taste a little bit more like a cheddar, or sort of like a aged mozzarella or something like that. But a nice kind of firmness to it. Good amount of flavor, yeah. And then we're pairing it with Saison Dupont. Again, a lot. I'm doing 2 and 2 just to see how these two with 2 cheeses, this one with 2 cheeses, to see how it matches. Maybe this one works better with certain cheese. So. Classic. Sorry, Belgian Saison. Let's see how this goes. Ooh, wow, that's fun. That one works quite well. The Saison Dupont has a wonderful sweetness to it, and it really does something fun to a little bit of that tang and nuttiness that this beer has. This cheese has. Yeah, it's a relatively a nice kind of like sharpness to it, nice nuttiness. Really lovely cheese, man. Wonderful. Wow. The beer here is very light and refreshing with a nice body too, but the carbonation really moves on the palate. Again, that sweetness I really like, accentuating that kind of like nuttiness and a little bit of like counteracting that sharp quality in the cheese. Cuts away from the fat really nicely. Both have a little bit of earthy quality going on, so you get a little bit of that tang from the goat's milk, and then you also get a little bit of that earthiness on the bitterness from that yeast. So really good pairing. And then we're moving on to a semi-soft cow's milk cheese called Morbier from France. This is the bottom part of the cheese, but in general, if you look at the cheese from a side angle, it has a nice kind of like a black line running through it. You sort of see that black line running through it right now. So this cheese, a lot more fatty on the palate. A little bit more of that like almost a funkiness kind of going on. Almost tastes a little bit like spoiled or like old sock kind of thing going on. But really nice and rich, nice creamy, rich kind of cheese. So really nice. pretty nice. Again, I'm loving the sweetness on this one. Saison Dupont is just like such a good food and cheese beer. Um, Sweetness works pretty well with the more beer. I want to say the goat cheese worked better with the saison. But again, really nice. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know if it necessarily, it just feels like the saison is just really awesome. It has wonderful carbonation, bitterness, a little bit of alcohol. It just drives away the cheese quite nicely. Pulls back from that kind of earthy kind of funk thing it has. Maybe the cheese might be a little bit better with something a little bit more robust. I'm curious how this cheese might do with something like a double or a American brown ale, maybe leaning something like a porter. So I think the goat cheese is certainly the winner with the pairing with the saison de Pont. Moving on, we have a triple cream. Triple cream is a cow's milk cheese. It is, I believe, over 40% of milk fat or butter fat or cream. It's extremely overwhelming on the palate and how fatty it is. It literally tastes like you're eating a slice of cream cheese. Yeah, if you blindfold me, I literally would think you just fed me a big block of cream cheese. I don't know if you guys like cream cheese, but I literally can eat cream cheese, and that's delicious to me. So if you like cheesecake, if you like cream cheese, that works. So that's awesome. And then we're pairing it with Bell's Expedition, classic Imperial Stout. Oh, that is good. Wow. Maybe this beer is amazing too, but the cheese is amazing. The beer is amazing. Man, what works so well is these two things are so big. Again, this is like eating like straight up cream cheese, just tons of fat on the palate. This one's nice and roasty. The smokiness really plays into that fattiness. It has this wonderful kind of again like luscious cream flavor matched with that kind of intensity of roast, smokiness, dark fruit. The sweetness works well on both. There's nice sweetness behind this, and just again that creamy kind of like melt in your mouth kind of texture. And the Imperial Stout has that too, with that luscious big mouthfeel. Oh man, oh, that's delicious. Yeah, it's like a chocolate cheesecake dessert. That works. Yeah, and then you get a little bit of roast to like cut away from the fattiness. That's a killer pairing. Yeah, that might be my favorite one of the night. And then we're doing a Roquefort cheese, which is a sheep's milk cheese, blue cheese, really funky. And again, with the theory behind this is same with beer. As you move up, you want to sort of do smaller beers, less flavor, and move all the way up in the scale. Same thing with how I'm doing these cheeses. Start off with a little bit of a neutral kind of blue brie, and then moving all the way up to that Roquefort, which is going to be super funky. So, let's get this one. Whew. Yeah, this cheese is no joke. It's not for amateur cheese eaters. Well, you get like dark fruits in there, but it's really funky. It's a blue cheese. Huge flavors, just attacking the palate. Lots of salinity going on. Yeah, it's as if the cheese was blended with like dark fruits and salt. Really salty. Yeah. Let's see how it goes with the Imperial Stout. Quite nice. Wow. The dark fruit in this one complements the dark fruit in the beer. The big flavors in this one are sort of tamed down by this. The roastiness and the alcohol sort of cuts away at the big flavors in this one. I also really like the fact that there's such a salty cheese, and then this one has a nice kind of sweetness to it. Yeah, the Imperial Stout has a nice sweetness to it, and really they balance each other out really wonderfully. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm somewhat surprised, but these two cheeses, the triple cream and the Roquefort, big flavors, matches the big flavors of the Bell's Expedition. This beer is drinking incredibly right now. Big fan of also the semi-firm goat cheese with the Saison Dupont. Yeah, the beer is drinking incredibly. And then the Sunshine Pills with a brie. I'll have to figure out maybe something to match with the brie next time. Maybe it could be an American IPA. Maybe we go towards something like a wheat beer. But really fun stuff. So. Let me know if you have any questions. Just doing a little bit of experiment. So again, the ones that worked were the semi-firm goat cheese with the Saison Dupont, the triple cream with Bell's Expedition, Roquefort with Bell's Expedition, and then the rest were pretty good. So let me know if you have any questions. just doing this for the first time. I thought it'd be a really fun idea. I hope you guys like videos like this. I'll certainly bring more if you guys would like it. Until next time, guys. Cheers. Later.